Man, it sure is amazing why we do what we do. God, we really are just trying to recreate the past in attempts to change it, of which we never do when we can't see what we're doing. I've shared this with you before, different stories that have happened when I was a child, but not recognizing those incidences, those experiences are what have caused me to behave in ways I do now. And so the biggest effect on me has been my mother, which if you're just tuning in, she committed suicide when I was 5, and I recall a lot of things that happened before she passed. And so they have all influenced, along with a boatload of things that occurred, of course, after her death influenced. It was just a lot. And so one of the things was, there were often times that she would tell me to wait, or she'll be right back, or I would wake up from a nap and she was not there, and a neighbor would say, oh, she'll be right back. And so it's almost like this fuckery of the mind. Of course, that was not her intent at all. This is not, but I'm telling you how a child perceives it and what occurs as a result of it. So it almost is like the rat in the cage, right? Like you put that experiment where they put a rat in a cage, they put food out for it, it figures out how to get through the maze and get to the food. But then sometimes it'll get there and there's no food, sometimes it'll get there and there's food. But they do it so it's like there's always food at first, so you always go. You always go to mom, you always go home, it's always there, they always come back. But then slowly they stop putting it out, and sometimes they do. So then you get confused, but you're already addicted to going, so you're addicted to going back there, so you keep going back there. And it's like you fiend for it, and you wait for it, and you wait longer than you should for it. It's like you don't learn that it's not coming back. But it is such fuckery of the mind, because there are plenty of times, I was much younger, it was a different time then, but, I would be left in the car, and she would say, I'm just running to the grocery store, I'll be right back. But it would seem like a damn hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I mean, as a little kid, it seems like a nightmare. And I'm like, oh my God, something's wrong. And so these kind of incidents happen all the time. I would fall asleep on her lap and I'd wake up and she was gone, and I'd be screaming bloody murder for her. I'd run outside and the neighbor would scream, oh, she just went to go pick up Becky. She'll be right back. And me, under 5, scared to death, oh, okay, run back inside, worried, would go hide in a closet, just scared to death. But then she'd come back. But then one day, she doesn't come back. She commits suicide and she never returns. And so it's like this fuckery of one's mind where I do wait too long. Right? Like I'll people will tell you, oh, I'll change, I'll do this, I'll get to it. And you think, okay, I'll wait. They'll do what they say. And sometimes they do. And sometimes they don't. This is just sad to me. It's like clearly something I didn't see, because I do that. I tend to, it's like give that grace and space, allow people to follow through. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But this is also the lesson and the teaching of, this is terrible to say it this way, but it's like, don't rely on anyone outside yourself. So I say it's terrible because I don't want you to have that internal dialogue. I really don't. And of course, my ego has proven it true, right? Like I've been able to, my ego has proven that true, that I cannot rely on others. But the upswing of that is, I very much can rely on myself. I very much can. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I don't let myself down that way. I love myself and I'm there for myself, right? And that's how you get that relationship with yourself, is you follow through for you. You love you. You honor you. And it's such a terrible way to learn that lesson. So I don't want you to learn it that way, and I don't want you to feel that way or make it so extreme. But I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, that's why I make everything like, I think I did a post a while ago also. Maybe it was this morning. I have such a hard time with time, about playing chicken and how you can fall into crocodile-infested waters. It's like such an extreme version, and that's not even the correct version. It's like everything seems to be extreme in my mind, but it also keeps me on the path I want. It's like I don't look at the alternative as an alternative. It's not an alternative. And so, sometimes that's how some of our minds work, and it's based on our experiences. And again, that could also be, it's because of ego, right? Like you have to be careful with all of this. But in other words, it can work for you or against you. And it could be telling you lies or truth. And we could untangle this for another, decade or another 12 lifetimes. I mean, does it matter? Yes and no, not really, and of course, because it is all of it. This is why it's good and bad. It's like if you're capable of learning from your past and truly choosing different and truly expanding and growing, then it's beautiful. But if you choose to look in the past and you're not learning and you're not growing and expanding, and your ego is running the show, you'll keep replicating the past, thinking that you can make it different by replicating it. No, think about that. If you're replicating it, you're replicating it. So you're claiming you'll make a different choice this time, but you never do because you're not actually learning the lesson. You're just reviewing the past and saying, okay, let's try again. So you try again and replicate the same thing over and over and over. Because you're a statue. You're running from your ego. You're thinking you're better or different, although you haven't analyzed, revised, and chosen different. Does that make sense? It's like we are constantly repeating the past because we're not growing, we're not learning, we're not being teachable, we're not understanding, we're not hearing, we're not listening. We're hurt. We're operating from a wound. We don't like what occurred. We want it to be different, so we're going to replicate it. That doesn't make sense. We want it different, so we're going to replicate it. That doesn't make sense. But we can't hear that when we're in the wound. We can't hear that. So we keep doing it and doing it and doing it and convincing ourselves that we're not, but we are. So again, you can look at this from many different angles. This is why it's important to heal that wound. To heal that wound, you have to see that wound. To see that wound, you have to address that wound, right? Like these are the things that are required if we don't want to keep repeating. Some people are capable of learning without having to keep revisiting or revising or being challenged by. But that's also, I believe, once you're in balance and aligned and healed and whole, then you can continue moving forward without looking back. But you're in a world full of people that are still operating from their wound, who are going to force you to keep looking back. No, this is. No, this is. No, this is. And so you have to be strong enough to not play into that and find other people that are healed and whole and moving forward. Or figure out a dozen other options. But it's aware of all of these dynamics and the reality of them, and that we're all colliding together at all times. And so I have found, because of this mishmash mess of a world we live in, we can see it as the beautiful differences it's meant to be, but also realize the reality of it is due to a lot of pain and trauma and wounds. And learning the biggest lesson of reconnecting with oneself, remembering oneself, and staying aligned with oneself and loving oneself as a whole individual, independent unit that is entirely part of the whole. So by respecting, loving, and honoring oneself, you can offer that to others because you are others. You are them, and they are you. But if we get out of that alignment and we please everybody else who are not pleasing themselves and not loving themselves because they're looking to steer and control you, which means because they don't know how to steer and control themselves, then you're going to get yourself led right off a cliff. So you have to build that backbone in spite of what those around you want to tell you to do differently. So it is this idea of like having to build and grow that backbone. Yeah, sorry, without showing or telling anybody. They're showing like a little kid who's starting to grow a backbone and going, look at me, I grew my backbone, look. And it's just a sprout. And we do tend to do that. I know you, clearly, you hear me do all the time. And people come and go, oh, that's cute, you got a little sprout. And they trample it and stomp on it and tear it to the ground. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how long it took me to grow that sprout? Did you see the roots underneath? Do you know how long it fucking took me to do that? And you have the nerve to destroy that? You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Right? But then it's like, oh, but did I run and tell you because I was excited? And I was proud of myself and I want to share that and experience that with somebody else. I wanted them to share my joy. Oh, but you have people all around you that don't want to share in your joy. They don't want to be happy or excited for you. They don't want to hear it. And so these are like all, I'm giving you so many little messages in one because it's challenging to navigate that kind of thing, right? You want to hope that everybody around you wants the best for you just like you want the best for them. But sadly, that's not always the truth. And so it is such I think it's kind of like a fucked up mentality of don't tell anybody until your backbone's fully grown, fully intact, fully alive, fully upright, fully the whole thing. And you're so strong, it's so strengthened, it's unbreakable. Because when they come kicking, they're going to break their foot and bounce off. They're going to shatter every bone in their body, thinking they can kick you down. Oh, you're unkickable. But they shattered their bone in an attempt to kick yours. And that, to me, I don't like that mentality. I don't like that attitude. I hear it, I see it, we've experienced it, we continue to prove it because everybody continues to tell you, don't tell anybody what you're doing until it's done. And this is why, because they too have experienced that. And then they too repeat that rhetoric. And then we continue to call in that history time and time again. So even the best teachers in the world are going to tell you that. Even ones who have broken through a lot of limits, they haven't broken that limit, right? Like we end up continually falling prey to our past. All of us do. And we're just not acknowledging it. And because of that inability to acknowledge it and be aware of it and take a critical eye at examining it, we repeat it. Because we're unteachable, right? It's like, how teachable are you? Well, you're teachable to this limit. You're teachable to this limit. You're teachable to this limit. And the idea is that we continue to bust through our limits. We continue to graduate to the next level. We continue to go from kindergarten to first grade to second grade to third grade to fourth grade. Up, send them back down to kindergarten. They had faulty foundation. Send them a new teacher, start from kindergarten again. This time you get up to sixth grade and go back down. Next time you go up to, and it's like, oh, this could take 12 million years before these rats turn into rabbits. And that's just how we are. That's how we are. That ego is what has us stopping and starting, coming and going. We think we know. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.